Hello everybody, it's Tom and Jerry Fan 64 here, and as promised from the last video, I'm going to be doing a video of my top 20 favorite Pixar movies of all time. And before I start with the top 20 list, I do have an honorable mention, which is Incredibles 2. The Incredibles 2. So yeah, that was a great movie. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about some of these, but not all of them. If you guys want to see my full movie reviews, I might try to put a link down below. So yeah, number 20 is Toy Story 2. This was a pretty underrated sequel. I'm still counting this on my list because even though I didn't like this movie as much as the first one or the third or fourth. So yeah, but Toy Story 2 is probably the fourth best in the series. So yeah, number 19 is The Good Dinosaur. And as you guys can notice, I don't have Cars 2 on my list of great Pixar movies because I left that off the list because I didn't necessarily care for that one. So yeah, and number 19 is definitely The Good Dinosaur. This is the only Pixar movie to bomb at the box office, and I was really disappointed that this movie bombed at the box office. It took me like a couple years to watch it. I watched it back in 2021. I saw it last year. And I got the DVD for $3 at Media Mogul. The Good Dinosaur, it's not one of the best Pixar movies, but it's one of the first Pixar movies to ever make me cry. I cried a lot during the ending to this movie, which I'm not going to spoil. The Good Dinosaur is a pretty overlooked Pixar movie. At number 18 is Ratatouille. You guys are probably wondering, why is this movie not higher on the list? There's a lot more that I enjoyed. That's why. So yeah, Ratatouille is definitely number 18. I'm not really a big fan of food. I'm not a big fan of movies based on food, other than The Founder. But see, I'm not really interested in movies about restaurants. Well, mainly the one I like is The Founder, which is based on Ray Kroc, who was the owner of McDonald's. So yeah, Ratatouille was a really great movie. And I also got the DVD of Ratatouille at a Goodwill back in Bend, Oregon, and it for only $2.99, which was a great deal. At number 17 is a movie that is one of my latest Pixar reviews. And number 17 is Monsters University. This is the prequel to Monsters Inc., which I'm going to be talking about that in the top 3, spoiler alert. So yeah, Monsters University is not as good as Monsters Inc., but it's a really great movie. And the Blu-ray, I have Monsters University on Blu-ray, which I got from Media Mogul for $5. So yeah, I'm gonna do this video quick. At number 16 is a movie that I actually really enjoyed. I was not looking forward to it at all, but it's Cars 3. This one was actually better than Cars 2, even though Cars 2 I thought was okay, but it's not on my favorite Pixar movies list. I decided to leave Cars 2 out because the main ones I enjoy are Cars 1 and 3. And speaking of Cars, number 15 is the first Cars movie, which I got on Blu-ray for $4.99 at the Goodwill in Bend, Oregon, which was a great deal. I really enjoyed the first Cars movie in the franchise, and rest in peace to Paul Newman, who starred in it. I don't think Cars 3 is better than the first Cars, but it's better than 2. So yeah, Cars was a great movie, and probably one of my favorite songs that is featured in this movie is Rascal Flatts' song "Life Is a Highway." That immediately reminds me of Cars. So yeah, at number 14 is Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 I watched on Disney Plus during the summer of 2019. The summer of 2021, excuse me, sorry. Not 2019. I saw it in summer of last summer on Disney Plus, and it was a great movie. So yeah, and speaking of which, at number 13 is Toy Story 3. in my opinion, Toy Story 4 is the third best in the series. Toy Story 3 is number 2. And my number 1 is definitely the first one, which I'll mention in the top 3 as well. And then Toy Story 2 is up last. Toy Story 3 was a great movie. I wasn't expecting them to make a Toy Story 4 because I thought the way they ended it in both 3 and 4, I don't think they should make a fifth one. But I would be on board if they do make it, but it would probably be unnecessary because the way they ended it during Toy Stories 3 and 4, I think it had a satisfying ending. So yeah, number 12 is Finding Dory. Really, really great sequel to Finding Nemo. So yeah, Finding Dory, I don't think is as good as Finding Nemo, but this is still a really great movie. Finding Dory was one of the best Pixar movies of 2016. Probably one of the best animated movies of 2016, in my opinion. It's either that or Zootopia, but I love both. But if I had to choose, I would choose Finding Dory. But Zootopia is also a great movie. So yeah, and guys, comment down below, should I do a video of my top 10 or top 20 favorite Disney animated movies? I'm thinking about doing that in the future when I get out of school. So yeah, number 12 is definitely Finding Dory, and you guys are probably wondering why isn't this higher up the list? Like I said, there was more movies that I actually enjoyed more. And at number 11 is definitely one of the more sadder Pixar movies. And number 11 is Inside Out. And fun fact about the movie Inside Out was the first movie I ever bought on Blu-ray, believe it or not. So so yeah. Inside Out, believe it or not, was the first Blu-ray I ever bought. It was the first one I ever bought. It's the first one I've ever owned. Well, I actually used to own a Blu-ray of The Sound of Music a long time ago, but I'm not counting that. Even though that was the real first Blu-ray I ever got, but I got rid of it. So yeah, Inside Out, I love this movie so much. I've actually watched Inside Out. Believe it or not, I've seen it 7 times. 6 or 7 times. It's such a great movie, but it definitely gets you in the feels. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it does get sad. I actually cried the 7th time I watched it. It was really, really sad. It is mainly about your emotions. Our emotions. At number 10 is one of the... Speaking of great Pixar movies, at number 10 is Soul, with Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. This was a great movie. And believe it or not, fun fact about the movie Soul, it was the first Pixar movie to ever be released straight to Disney Plus. So yeah, Soul was the first Pixar movie to be a Disney Plus exclusive. So yeah, Soul was a great movie. It took me a while to watch this movie. I watched this movie last year, in summer of last year. I watched a boatload of Pixar movies that year, during summer. So yeah, Soul is a great movie. I'm not really a big fan of jazz music, honestly, but this movie was pretty awesome. It was really awesome. So yeah, at number 9 is a movie, yet again, you guys are probably wondering why isn't it higher? There's a lot of other movies I liked more than this. At number 9 is Up. Another sad Pixar movie. One of the saddest since Inside Out. It was really, really sad. I almost cried at the middle of Up. There's some really sad moments. And sadly, the guy who played the grandpa of the main character passed away last year, unfortunately. May he rest in peace. I don't know the actor's name who played the grandpa of the main child character. I really miss that actor. So yeah, Up needs no introduction whatsoever. So yeah, at number 8 is another Pixar movie that was released straight to Disney Plus and on Blu-ray, and that is Luca. This is a great movie. Luca basically is about some fishes. I'm not really a big fish fan, but if movies like this and Finding Nemo, if they make movies like that are great, I'm all up for it. So yeah, Luca is a great movie, and it has Jacob Tremblay, who was in one of the more underrated movie based on book to film adaptations called Wonder, and he was also in Doctor Sleep. So yeah, he was great in Luca, but I think this is probably Jacob Tremblay's best performance since Wonder. So yeah. At number 7 is the latest Pixar movie. It's the latest Pixar movie. This was released straight to Disney Plus as well, and it is a movie that I recently watched earlier this month, and that is Turning Red. This is a very underrated Pixar movie. It's a great movie. I'm hoping that the movie The Good Dinosaur, going back to The Good Dinosaur, I'm hoping that one becomes a cult classic, because I really enjoyed that one. But anyways, let's go back to Turning Red. This movie stars Sandra Oh as the main character's overprotective mother. And this was a really, really great movie. The animation is beautiful. It kind of reminds me of Studio Ghibli in a way. So yeah, Turning Red needs no introduction as well. And here are the top 6. At number 6 is A Bug's Life, which I also watched in last summer in 2021. A Bug's Life is not my absolute favorite, but I think it's better. I think it's better than Turning Red. I had to choose between this movie, The Bug's Life, and Turning Red. And I do hope to get the VHS of A Bug's Life. I used to have A Bug's Life on VHS, but it was extremely moldy, so I had to throw it out. It was a VHS I got in September of last year. So yeah, Bug's Life needs no introduction. Great movie, but it has one of the creepiest scenes in the movie. And I'm not going to spoil it. If you guys want to watch the movie for yourself, I think you'll know what I mean. So yeah, number 5 is a movie that I also watched in summer of 2021, which was last year, and that is WALL-E. This one is definitely one of the best Pixar movies, one of the more underrated Pixar movies ever. And there's a quotable line that I really enjoyed, but I'm not going to spoil it because it's close to the end, so I'm not going to spoil it. So yeah, WALL-E needs no introduction, and here are the top 4 best Pixar movies ever. So I'm going to do a speed round with these. Number 4 is The Incredibles, which was a great movie, and number 3 is Monsters, Inc., which was also a great movie, and Monsters, Inc. I watched yesterday. And here are the top 2 best Pixar movies, and you guys probably know what they are. At number 2 is Toy Story, the very first movie. Even though I heard some people don't like the animation to Toy Story, the first one, that the animation is terrible. I thought it was okay. I think the animation is great in this movie. And my number 1 favorite Disney Pixar movie of all time, and Durant Cinema, if you're watching this is for you. At number 1, the number 1 best Pixar movie that has remained my number 1, and that is my number 1 favorite Pixar movie is none other than Finding Nemo. So yeah, Finding Nemo is definitely one of the greatest Pixar movies. It's definitely the best one, period. The best one, period. And it's a great movie, and it's very flawless. My favorite line from the movie, honestly, is when one of the fishes says, "Fish are friends, not food." So yeah, if you guys haven't seen any of these movies on this list, I recommend them. So yeah, that is it for my top 20 favorite Pixar movies of all time, in which I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And it's okay if you disagree with me on this list. This is my personal list. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're generous enough, please consider leaving a like on this video and subscribe, plus it really helps out. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye everybody, have a good day. Peace out.